Hey everyone, it's Brian Lee with On the Level with yours truly, Brian Lee, powered by Metro Home Improvement and the Roof Resource. We're going to talk about everything roofing today with Mr. Mike Harvey from the Roof Resource. So moving forward, I would like to touch on the insurance component, insurance aspect, because I've been an insurance restoration contractor for 20 plus years, 25 years. And we do fire and we do water, we do storm, trees falling on your houses, every component of insurance work. And now what's exciting for me is we're moving into the insurance arena and we're going to be able to do roofs at cost for our homeowners who have insurance policies who don't have proper coverages.
Right. Yeah. So the insurance industry is a whole nother animal that when I built the company and the model, did not know the serious impacts that it's going to have, again, for the homeowner, creating simplicity, but for the insurance company and that old archaic way of how they were going about getting roof costs and getting roofs done. And so, I have worked with Denise Mansfield with Farm Bureau Insurance. I think you know Denise as well.
I do.
She is amazing, but she found me, and I say she found me in October 21 and just came up and said, hey, you're going to help me reduce my loss ratios. And I had no clue what that was because I wasn't dealing with insurance. Long story short, now we're looking to do some really big things with Farm Bureau. But over the last 2 years, she has sent clients and customers our way, and the simplicity and service. And when homeowners thought that they had a claim and then they don't have a claim or it's not getting covered, it's not the roof is not the price that the homeowner thinks it is when someone has quoted them or knocked on their door and said your roof has got damage and I'm going to submit this claim for $37,000 for your roof, and it's 27 squares or something. I mean, it's ridiculous pricing.
Correct.
You have to understand that from the homeowner's perspective, the homeowner just wants to get their roof taken care of if they believe it's going to be covered. But when you've signed or someone knocks on the door and the homeowner signs away their roof, now, as you know, Brian, they give the rights of that roof to that roofing company, and then they're negotiating with the insurance company, and that's where you get battles back and forth. What we do is we come in and we create simplicity. So this partnership is going to be that we're going to provide these estimates immediately to Farm Bureau. Matter of fact, we just did one, I want to say 2 weeks ago, on the west side in Novi, I believe it was, and the homeowner was presented with a price of $27,000 to replace his roof.
Amazing.
Farm Bureau reached out to me immediately. We were 12-4. Immediately paid the customer because there's metrics involved.
They couldn't write the check fast enough,
and it's 12-4, and now the homeowner is in a different place and situation because they're not paying $27,000. And so, again, it goes back to the homeowner still gets that level of service and quality because that's, as you know, the quality is different on the insurance claim to what we provide. It's even much higher at a cost price. And so all of this sounds kind of crazy to the listener or the viewers right now, but we bring in a level of simplicity just like we create for the homeowner. Our price doesn't change. The homeowner's paying for it or the insurance company's paying for it. Doesn't matter. We don't play with the price because cost is cost.
And to move back to what you said before, you said we have a win-win-win situation. However, in insurance, it's a win-win-win-win. The insurance company wins because now the price is cheaper for them, right. So the loss ratio goes down.
Right.
The insurance agent wins because the loss ratio goes down. The homeowner wins because they get the job done at a lesser cost and it doesn't raise their rates as much as it normally would. And then we win because we are able to put the roof on for them at cost, and it just goes towards the volume that we do.
Right. They're not making a $37,000 claim.
Correct.
It's $12,000.
Yeah. I mean, and God forbid. I mean, I have $500,000 fire claims. I have $200,000 water claims, which are nasty, right? And you're doing everything you can to save as much as you possibly can, but you're getting into areas where you just can't cut that out. You've got to provide that service to get the home back to where it was pre-loss.
Right.
With something like this, I mean, a roof is a roof, right? So we're saving them money on the roof, and everyone wins.
Yeah, and that's the the bigger picture here for us as we expand across the country is that we're now talking with a couple other national insurance companies and making presentations to some of their C-level leadership. And again, right now they are also in the, I can't believe this. This is amazing. And so again, when we're coming from a place of transparency and honesty, from, hey, this is what it's going to cost to replace it, and again, homeowner pays it or the insurance company pays it, the price doesn't change. And that's the piece where they're in love with the model.
The insurance companies have to be infatuated with you. I mean, really, they have to be infatuated with the roof resource. So let me ask you this, for the viewer that doesn't know. Obviously, we're a Michigan-based company. We started out in Michigan, and this is where we're branched and located. When you start to spread out across the country and you go into other states, does that insurance component or piece, does that work with our model in other states the same way it does in Michigan?
Yes, it does. Because we have another product. It's called RoofFax, and RoofFax is a product that helps the insurance companies from a steering perspective, so that there's insurance companies cannot tell a homeowner right now in their insurance agreements and policies, tell them who to use. Now, in the state of Florida, I believe there's changing that. In the state of Texas, they're changing that. So they have a product that they can send them, that price point. So in Texas, in all the markets that we're going into, we're the partner for the insurance company. Again, it's, hey, there's metrics that insurance companies have that if you're the policyholder and you have a claim, they truly want to get that claim handled, processed correctly, and paid out and done. And those are metrics on the back end that homeowners are not involved with, but me understanding that back end side, they don't want your homeowner case to be 30, 60, 90, 120. There's handle times and call center times. There's costs involved in that.
Right.
When we come in immediately with a price point that is solid as a rock, solid as a rock, so they know they can stand on that price. There's no supplementing back and forth and tug of wars that have typically happened in traditional roofing. We can do this everywhere nationally.
So the creation of the Xactimate estimate, which is the standardized pricing matrix or metrics for any job in the insurance industry. I mean, what I'm seeing is from the inception of the call for the roof through the Xactimate and then to a settled agreed amount with the insurance company. I mean, it's 72 hours, 3 days, 4 days max.
Yeah, I mean, with us, it's the, hey, there's a claim, an adjuster reaches out, we get them RoofFax within 24 to 48 hours, depending upon the volume. They immediately seek what's cost. Whatever they've written on that roof, we don't even see it. We don't care.
Right.
We don't need to, because we already know we're going to be thousands of dollars less. And again, it's just the roof. So it's roof off, roof on. So if there's some damage to gutters and damage to other pieces, that's where someone like yourself gets to step in and be able to help service all of that.
Right.
But again, it creates the speed, it creates the level of service, and homeowners get this done quickly, because now, hey, they've got a hail damage roof. I had someone reach out to me last week, and someone came by and knocked on their door and said, "You had hail." And, he did the right thing. He called me immediately and wanted to talk about it and discuss it, and I just kind of gave him some other direction, because again, that's a storm chaser knocking on doors. And so the opportunity for all of us, in the franchise is going to be really massive here in the next 12 months, let alone just retail customers.
Absolutely.
And
I see it.
And that's where I've said to some of these customers, that if, someone like Denise Mansfield, right, been in the industry for a long time, she's highly valued from many, many people. She stands on the roof resource. And that's just over the course of time of us being able to deliver a service that I believe is a great service. If people like that trust us, and in the insurance industry, most agents won't recommend a roofing company.
No, because they're putting themselves on the line, and if you don't perform, then it makes them look bad.
Right. And you go out on social media, she is out there pushing the roof resource whenever somebody says they need a roof. And so there's going to be some larger things that are going to be happening this year, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I just talked to one of her clients, I think on Friday, Thursday or Friday, and we already had an estimate prepared. We've already sent it out, and I believe that the client is ready to go ahead and move forward with it. I just received an email from her, and that's how quick it went. I mean, literally, she called and said, "I have a problem," and we responded to it immediately.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can't do it any faster than that.
Well, excuse me, that's just part of this whole process, is that when the homeowner believes they need a roof, within 24 hours they get a proposal, not just a number. As you know, that proposal is 6 pages. We bring it to life about the quality of the workmanship, itemization. We have an attic inspection once they become a customer from a third-party home inspection company.
Licensed,
right?
Right.
And, when they see this level of transparency, and then, of course, just the whole back-end operations and working with our teams, it's just, I tell people, please read the reviews. I mean, the reviews say it all. They don't just say, use the roof resource, and they're good. I mean, some of them write novels.
I've had a couple of our clients write some novels.
Yeah.
I mean, they're long and they're arduous, but at the end of it, that you get to it and they say, "Hey, I had a great experience. I couldn't have had a better experience. I saved thousands of dollars," which is, the primary goal was for them to have a great experience and save a lot of money.
Yeah, and we're starting to get clients calling us back and saying, "Hey, do you do gutters? Do you do cement? Do you do windows? Do you do siding?" Because they've trusted us with their roof. And this is going to, part of our model is later this year and next year, we will get into gutter guards. We will get into gutters. And then next year we will bring on windows.
Yeah, and I mean, it's perfecting one thing and then being able to duplicate it and move forward, right?
Yep.
The key to success is duplication. And so once you perfect a model and you duplicate it to the next thing, it's just plugging one thing, pulling one thing out and plugging it back in, right?
Yeah.
It's a very simple process. And I feel that if we were to get into those items, we would dominate that market as well.
Well, it starts off with when you do what's right for the homeowner. I mean, at the end of the day, I know it's the right thing to do for the homeowner. Again, that's our model. Other people that are doing it, other companies that are doing it the way that they want to, got no problem with them. Good quality work, great product, great service. But then the price, you got to take a look at that. And if you can get the same quality installation, this identical product at half the price, at maybe not even half the price, or someone comes down because they're trying to win more business. I've actually told customers, I said, okay, when someone comes to your home, great, you want to have a couple more quotes, great. When they come to your home, have them sit down at the table and immediately within 5 minutes have them give you a price. And then just make certain that you can choose any brand of shingle. And then let them go through everything that they want to go through. If they will not give you a price on that roof within 5 minutes, then know that they are there to sell you at a much higher price. Because what do we do in our proposals?
First page.
Price. Here you go.
People have pulled it up. I'm doing a Zoom meeting with them, and they're looking at it, and I watch the facial expressions change. They get the wide eye look.
Yeah.
And I say, "Is everything okay?" And they'll be like, "Is this the correct price?" Absolutely. Because first page, we come right out of the gate. Here's your number.
Right.
Who does that?
Right. And I'm like, it's the 800-pound elephant that all homeowners want to know. You don't have to go through an hour and a half presentation to then get a price point. And, when they price condition a homeowner and they say, well, how does that compare to the budget you were looking to spend? The homeowner is going to lose on either way. Yes, that's a good price. Or, well, that's kind of high. No problem. I'm going to take it down $2,000 or $3,000. $2,000 and $3,000 in the roofing industry, or when these ads come out and they say, we're going to knock out 50% less than labor, 50% off your labor. 50% off what? $400 a square of labor, so now they're going to knock it down to $2,000? Who establishes that price point, right?
Yeah.
Or $1,000 off your roof before you even pick up the phone.
I love the $1,500 off or free gutters.
Right.
Those are my favorite. Right. And I'm like, so we start out I'm $1,500 to the good. I'm the homeowner. I'm $1,500 to the good, or I get free gutters.
Right.
What if I have a gigantic ranch and I have 400 feet of gutter?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Do you know how much 400 feet of gutter are in today's society?
Right.
Yeah, you're looking at $4,500 to $5,000.
Right. And so all of the ads and homeowners, I apologize with my allergies. Homeowners will see that, we're not in a ton of advertising. I've been on Live in the D a few different times, and we've gotten just bombarded with calls.
Hire it done.
Been on Hire It Done.
Right.
And tons of calls. And so the savings goes to the homeowner. I mean, all day long. And that's the reason why the referrals and homeowners that have used the roof resource and they got a great quality roof and great experience, they've been the source of so many of their customers becoming customers of ours because they're just telling everyone.
The crazy part of the whole thing is that look at the people who have gotten involved in the roof resource since its inception and where they are so excited. Like, I mean, we brought up Hire It Done, but look at Adam Helfman, nationally known home improvement expert, had a radio show here in Detroit. Now he's running a podcast. Adam Helfman, I mean, he couldn't talk enough about the roof resource and the savings because he was blown away. He comes from the old school home improvement background that I do.
Right. When I first met Adam, he was, no, this is BS. It was just, hey, because his mind was in a different place, and at that time, I told him, I'm like, you could be a master franchisee for us here, because I didn't know him at that time, and now, of course, he just sees the model and he just promotes it. He has people reach out to him, and we do their roofs. I mean, it's really simple. I mean, those are the customers who know that, hey, we're going to provide them with the lowest bottom price point, no markup. I mean, there's roofs that we've done, Brian, and you've installed them that we're at like 27, 28,000, and some they're getting quotes for 65 and 70,000.
I know. I just did a big monster one in, I think it was Bloomfield last year at the end of the year. And his closest quote to me, he was 58,000 was his closest quote, and I think we did it for 32.
Yeah, and 32, and we put on a class 4.
Yeah, absolutely. That also included an equipter, right? Because we had to get an equipter there because it was so tall, it was so big, so we had to have an equipter. I mean, that's just crazy that you save that kind of money for someone. And, he took the rest of the money that he saved and did other improvements to the exterior of the home.
Right. I mean, those are the endless stories. And so it's making certain that homeowners don't think because the price is at the bottom, it's cheap, because it's not. It's the top quality roofing systems that all homeowners are being pitched at today. And from a labor perspective, it's just that we've cut out all the fat. We've cut out all the TV and radio. We've cut out all of the salesman dollars. I mean, I tell customers at the time, I go out on YouTube and type in roofing salesman. You'll see guys on there making $200,000 and $300,000 or $400,000 a year. That money doesn't come from the roofing company. That money comes from the homeowner.
Right.
And it's just homeowners, it's just enlightening them. And then at the end of the day, if they choose some of these, the big names that people are aware of and they choose them, okay. If, you have our number and you want an Atlas Designer system installed on your home, and we're at 14,000 and somebody else is at 28 to 32,000 and you want to pay for that, I've got no problem with that. There you go. You've got your numbers, and we move on to the next customer.
So that brings up a good point, right? So I told folks this all the time. This is my mentors in the home improvement business taught me this a long time ago. They said there's 3 items. They said you can get it good, fast, or cheap, right? So you get to pick 2.
Right.
So if you want it good and fast, it's not going to be cheap. If you want it cheap and fast, it's not going to be good. So with this model, I take all 3 of those,
right,
and I throw them out the window.
Right, it completely shifts now, because now you're like, wait a minute, I can get it fast, I can get great, and I can get the lowest price.
Right.
Like, wait a minute, and that's what messes with people, because they hear that and they hear those messages, and it's like, well, hey, my price is $35,000 because I've been doing this for 75 years. I just want to throw something in a customer's mind and say, you've been doing roofing for 75 years. That means you're doing it the old way.
Right.
You're doing it the old way. And so just know that all we want you to do with the roof resource and Brian Lee, the roof resource of Macomb County, don't get a roof without getting a price from you first.
Yeah. I mean, look, when I first started, the old warhorse here was having a hard time with this. I'm not real computer literate. I can answer emails. I can type up a document on Word. That's about it. And I can search I can surf the web for things that I need. But when it comes to the Zoom calls and everything else, I was like, you know what, I can't do this. But, over time, it took me a hot minute, but I learned how to do it. And I was like, once I learned how to do it, I'm like, why haven't we been doing this before with other things?
Right. And it was, it is the, I'll say the Airbnb of roofing, Amazon of roofing, Netflix of roofing.
So many parallels.
It's so many parallels. I mean, one of our board members was like, Mike, this is the Uber of roofing. And, it's taking all of those technologies and all of the simplicities and re-engineering a process that's been done the same way for so very long.
I get credit for Amazon of roofing. I was the first one.
You did say Amazon of roofs because it was on Adam's show.
Higher done. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I get to take credit for that one because when I looked at it, I'm on Amazon all the time.
Yeah,
I buy material on Amazon, and the reason being is because it's forced us to do that. I can't buy certain things that I used to be able to purchase and walk into a vendor and say, "Hey, do you guys have this?" I'm like, no, you got to order it.
Right.
So I'm buying from Amazon all the time, and the Amazon guy knows us. We leave him cookies and he gets sodas, and because they're always at my house or at my shop delivering, right? So when I looked at it, I'm like, this reminds me of Amazon. It's so parallel to Amazon. I mean, so I'm starting to think of it in my head. I'm like, Mike, what's the next vertical? What's the next vertical? Because there's got to be another item that we can do. There's got, and we mentioned it, windows and gutters and gutter guards. And
gutter guards is my partner back in 2019. I immediately shifted to gutter guards because there's a big name product out there that starts customers off at $40 a linear foot. And again, it's just, homeowners don't know what they don't know, and good quality lifetime. And, we're at like $6 a linear foot installed, $7, $6 to $7, depending upon the work and cuts on Gutter Glove Leaf Blaster Pro. I mean, but again, it's the simplicity. We already have the numbers. We already have everything. And so we're just like, okay, let's just park it to the side, because it's just this maniacal focus on getting so good at roof off, roof on in all the markets that we're in. And so, but yeah, that's where I've had many people come and say, well, you can do this, you got to do this, you got to do flooring, you got to do windows. And I'm like, yes, we can. We know we can, but we're just parking that off to the side. And so now with the model being up and running for a couple of years, and the board, Colleen and Ryan and Maddie, we just are super focused on roof off, roof on. And hey, we'll get to that point, and we'll be able to launch those products faster and more simpler, because we'll have proven systems and all the other pieces that we want to make certain that we've got right before we get into those other products.
Same with us. Hence the reason that I created the podcast for this reason here, right, is to get the word out, spread the word out to a large amount of people in a short amount of time, right, and to educate the consumers as to what's available. And it just is a stepping stone for me to be able to get this out there for people to watch the show, get that education, and then be able to call us up and say, hey, we saw you on your podcast. We'd love to get a quote for our roof from you. Can you reach out to us and please give us a quote? That's where I'm pushing, and I think that's where the Roof Resource will be pushing in the future too, because you guys are so forward and you're thinking with, the Zoom call and the Google Meet calls and the satellite imagery and everything's going digital. And, I'm the dinosaur. I didn't want to go digital.
Yeah. And all the different pieces that we continue to look to evolve. One other thing, though, I wanted to mention is that the great thing with our systems and our models is that the price is the same for the customer here in Detroit as it is in Idaho, in Montana, in New Jersey, in Texas. It's uniformity across the board. There's no, hey, it's higher over here, lower over here. We do it a little bit differently here. And uniformity and systemization creates a whole nother level of in the roofing industry. And so that's where, I want homeowners that obviously live here in the Macomb County market, if they're thinking about a roof, go to theroofresource.com, enter their zip code, name, address, phone number, and they'll be hearing from you within 24 hours. I mean, how simple is that?
It's lightning quick. You couldn't have asked for a faster way of getting it done. So I guess to tell all the viewers too, as far as moving across the country, right? So the models that are open right now, or that are being opened across the country, because of that national pricing, obviously it's the same. That matrix is the same all the way across, but they're going to get the same level of installation that we've
Yes.
patterned and modeled here in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty. Again, it goes back to we own the preferred roofing network, and so when we go into a market, Ken will have 15 to 20 licensed, insured companies showing up and going through an interview process and what they do and how they do it and how they've treated customers. And I mean, they're vying for a position to be part of the group because of the volume of work that we'll provide them. Last year, we had to create what I call like a wheel of fortune for all the different roofing companies that are in the network here, because they were making $250,000 to $400,000 a year. Now think about that, Brian. $250,000 to $400,000 a year. And they didn't have to buy shingles. They don't have to worry about dumpster. They don't have to worry about finding where the customer's at. They're getting that paid on the day they walk off the roof. And that's unheard of.
No advertising.
No advertising. They just have to be the artisan that we want them to be and provide a 5-star experience.
Yeah, here you go. Here's the place you need to show
Right.
up. We've got it all scheduled and ready for you, and have the crew there at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning to get the roof going.
We actually had, I don't know the name of the company, but they flew in from New Jersey to meet with Ken because they're one of the top roofing companies in the New Jersey market. New Jersey's actually pretty dense. It's pretty big. But they flew in to meet with Ken because we opened up 2 this month in New Jersey.
I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but Detroit and New York, New Jersey are the 2 toughest home improvement models in the entire country. We are vying for 1 and 2 between us. And whenever home improvement takes place or things are rolled out, it's between Detroit, New Jersey, and New York, because
I didn't know that.
we're so similar, right? We're so similar with the architecture in New York and New Jersey, and the architecture in Detroit. The homes are so much similar because we have such diversity, in ethnicities and around and about the areas. The homes are constructed basically the same. So, when people do fix-ups, it's predominantly we're the top. We're the top of the country.
Well, yeah, we have massive demand in New York, Indiana, Illinois. We should be receiving approval because they're registering with the state. We probably have a dozen owners there that will have probably 50 units in the next probably 3 to 5 months. Wisconsin, which they want the state, but Kentucky, Tennessee, Atlanta, we've got some incredible people. Also back down in Texas, Houston market, and then Virginia. These are some PE guys in the private equity world, and so the model is taking shape. And you as a pioneer with jumping into the franchise, immediately had seen it, and now I would say it makes me feel good. I'm sure it makes you feel good that all these others are seeing it. And like I said, in the last 90 days, over 600 requests, and they keep coming every single day. So
where do you stop?
Well, this year, it's a strategic growth. So we have an infrastructure that as we continue to grow, our company will grow larger as the growth happens, because we want to be able to support the franchisees, and that we believe by the end of this year, our goal, and we already know that we could. We just did 17 units in the last 60 days. Our goal is 100 by the end of the year, and that's not 100 separate individual owners. These are empire builders, which are 4 to 6 units. Some of them that are closer to us will take on 1 or 2 units because we can service them quicker. But those who are out of state are the minimum of 4 units.
And the growth is exploding. That's why I said, where do we stop? How many units do you end up with? Because right now it's just like a wave. It's taking over. I know from the Midwest standpoint, going all the way south, everyone who sees it, they want a franchise.
Yeah, and they do. And we go through, there's a vetting process that we go through to make certain that they understand the roof resource and what we do and how we do it, why we do it. So very humbled meeting some incredible people and their journeys of moving away from the W-2 world, and they want to own the business and work from home and have work-life balance and things like that. So I always say it's like one of those, pick up the sword and jump into the arena of entrepreneurship.
Correct.
And as you know, it's fulfilling and sometimes fearful. I hate to use the word, but it's true. I mean, you don't know what you don't know a little bit, right? Until you jump into that arena. But it's the most empowering thing that I've ever felt, because I was a corporate guy for 25 years. So,
and getting into a franchise model is not built for everyone, right? Because to be honest with you, not everyone has the tenacity to get out there and are self-motivated. But for those that are, it's a tremendous opportunity.
Yeah, this is a model where, it's virtual. You work from home. I mean, there's digital assets and leads that come in. And one of the things that I've impressed upon all franchisees is that there is nothing that replaces the ability to go out and be the mayor, shake hands, attend a networking event.
Kiss the babies.
Kiss the babies, be the politician. And, that first year for me, SNG, I'm giving props to SNG, all those people in the SNG network here in Shelby, which I think Trevor's going to be a part of.
Yes.
And, they brought me about 20 plus roofs in my first year. And it wasn't just them, but it was them telling people. And so it's things like that really bring about, that's that organic growth, that grassroots efforts, right? And, from a realtor standpoint, I've got realtors now that reach out to us throughout the country, because they pull up at the home, they see the roof is old. First thing they think of is Roof Resource. Not the friend who I can throw them a deal, but Roof Resource, because they get that, quote, that proposal within 24 hours to replace the roof within 7 to 10 days at cost. So they're using that price maybe to negotiate a better price to sell or buy, or put the roof on at cost. And we actually had a customer do this, put the roof on in Grosse Pointe. It was Grosse Pointe Woods or Farms, and this was back in 23. And they put the roof on for $19,000. It was a big home. Sold the house for $50,000 more the next month, because the roof is at cost. The value is double. So again, it's another level of service, Brian. As you know, we offer to all real estate agents. And so those who are listening, who are brokers, we would love to come in and talk to you about what we do and how we do it, so that all your agents will know, so that you never lose a deal over a roof. Especially now with the lending parameters that are out. We just had Joe Fuca on from Simple Home Loans, and a good friend of ours. And then we also had on Joe Fortuna with Fortuna Realty. And a couple of things that they were talking about, right? If your roof is bad, a lot of these lenders don't want to mortgage the house until the roof is put on, or you have a new roof. They want it stipulated in the docs that you're going to have a new roof put on, because they can't certify the roof. And then that goes all the way back to the insurance. The insurance companies don't want to insure the house because the roof is in bad shape. They know that there's going to be a claim. Right. When, and to all of our friends out there who are in the home inspection industry, I know that they don't want to be the ones that kill a deal, but they are the ones who are, leading that homeowner to say, hey, the roof is, you got maybe 2 or 3 more years and it's end of life. That buyer really should be thinking of, I'm probably going to have to put a new roof on it, because it's going to get a mortgage on it. And then that new insurance company is going to be looking at that home and go, we're not going to put a policy on that home until you replace the roof. And then that could kill the deal or hold up the deal. Yeah, I agree 100%. Mike, it has been fantastic having you in the studio today. So much information, so many great topics that we touched on with regards to roofing and also the Roof Resource. I'd love to have you back again, because you and I could sit and kibitz for hours, right? So much knowledge and so much passion, and it exudes everything that you have. It exudes it. You can tell that you have this passion for the business and you have the passion for a homeowner. And I loved everything that we talked about today. So for those of you out there who watch the podcast, who follow us on social media, if you have friends, relatives, neighbors, coworkers, anyone that needs a new roof, please pass this along to them.
reach out to the Roof Resource. Whether it's my franchise territory in Macomb County or Grosse Pointe or anywhere else located in the state of Michigan and beyond, please reach out to us. It would behoove you to get an estimate from the Roof Resource. I'm telling you, you're going to get a top-notch quality job done at cost, which is something that's unheard of in the home improvement industry. Take it from me, with 40 plus years of knowledge and experience, I see it every day. And again, Mike, thank you so much for allowing us to be a franchisee. We were blessed to be the first ones on the board with you guys, and we look forward to this year 25 and beyond, and everything that's coming down the pipeline.
Great. Well, thank you, Brian, for having me.
Have a wonderful day.